TV a couple of months ago, before that, about a month before the Black Friday sales. That's a QLED TV. The last TV I had was a plasma. When I moved into my house 13 years ago, they were still selling the silver TVs, the big silver TVs to go in the corner. And I treated myself to the plasma. And the plasma was better. It's better than LCD, LED, because you get better blacks. But they were very heavy TV. Takes big brackets. So there was the brackets for the plasma up there. The fireplace used to go up to there. So the plasma TV was higher up. It's much thicker. The plasma TV is much heavier than it looks. It's a heavy beast. So I moved the plasma into my bedroom. I tried putting this TV on the plasma brackets, but I'll tell you the problem. You don't realise that until you buy these things. That there is all screens. Screens are getting bigger. But the electronics don't need to be bigger. So that box at the bottom, that's your electronics. That means now, because electronics is here, well, the plasma, your ports would be here at the side. They're way in there. When that's on the wall, you cannot get your hand behind to get that. And even that ridge there, I don't know what that ridge is about. You cannot get your hand in between the wall and the bracket to get at the stuff. I went and bought another bracket. It's not much better. I bought the bracket that was meant for it. That VAR, whatever you call it. But when I bought it, it wasn't meant for that size of screen. Now you see the way these brackets here are adjustable. The plasma bracket was the same. It doesn't work with that TV, because what you would do with a plasma, you could tilt your TV out and then the top of the screen, push it. But because the electronics is down here, up there's thin. For you to push it enough to push that in, you end up cracking the screen. And if that's loose enough, you don't crack the screen, it's just going to drop back out again. And when you pull it out, it puts the bottom even tighter into the wall. So that ain't going to work. So I've had it up there this last while. And the way I wired this house up, originally you had video recorders. Shortly after I came in here, I got a free sat recorder. So I had all the cables running up behind here and behind. I have all these lights here on remote control. And instead of having all these remote control sensors, I put the 4 socket boards up behind the TV. So the one sensor would, these wee things here. There's one in there last night, did it? No, it's not just a packet. Where did I put it? There's one lying around somewhere. I had to unplug it last night. The wee sensors is handy because if you were to put a sensor in that light, each one of them lights has 2 lights in it. You got a big yellow one and then you got the wee LEDs. So the big yellow one's I've never hardly used, but it's a lot brighter. And then the wee LEDs. So that would mean 4 sensors. But if you put a sensor, remote control sensor, and say plug it in there and put that on there, then by pushing the one button, 2 lights go on together. But that means you have to run the flexes up here. And that was alright. The plasma, there was plenty of space behind to do that. No space behind that now. It's too tight, that TV. So that's the other wee bracket I had in the shed. Far too long, and because of the length of it, it's going to pass these here and all, like, it doesn't have to be that length. I had to chisel a bit of the wall out to try and make room for the phono jack. That's how tight it is. You can't even put a headphone jack in. But I'm thinking a headphone jack's not going to work. The last TV had the phono cables, so I could run the phono cables to the amplifier, and I had the wee speakers and the bass box and all. It's very rare I'd watch a movie in here, so it's very rare it was actually on, the extra sound. But I'm thinking if I use that phono jack, that means I have to switch the sound system on every time, which I don't want to do. So unless I get stuck on that wee optical cable. So I'm taking all these cables away, not even for them. And what I'm thinking of doing now, there's no fire there now, and this job had to be finished anyway. So I'm going to drill a hole through the brace on both sides, and instead of the cables running up there to run them lights, the cables are running along the skirting board and in here, and I'll keep all the sockets, plenty of space in there. I'll keep all the remote control and sockets in there at the sides, but it won't be seen. And if I have to reset the control, I can just go and push the button. It's handier than standing on a stool and getting up there. So what I'll do now, I'll drill a hole through the brace with a big SDS drill, a hole through that way, big hole, it won't be a big hole, but that size. Start off with a wee bit and a good big bit, then big drill bits on it. As far as this goes, I'm still going to cutting it. That's all the length I need, that's more than I need. The only reason why the sides is on it, in case you slide your TV too far to the sides. What I might try and do now, I'm going to screw this off, and I'll move the whole bracket across, off crooked. As long as it's behind the TV, I don't have to cut it, I'll put it on as it is. If it's going on past, I'll cut it. I don't need the sides. I'll still leave it longer than I need, but you can even put a wee bolt through there so you slide the TV, it doesn't slide off. So I've marked where I'm going to drill it, but I'm going to put spacers behind all these screws, and I'm moving that bracket out. I'll get spacers to get it out a good inch from that wall. If anything, this TV bracket here, I don't really like the look of that. I've never seen it like that before there. Look how that works. You put them on your wall. These things here, they get different sizes depending on how far you want your TV to slope. They slot in, but I could think that's pretty tricky. When you're having a big TV, trying to get that into the hole, it could be pretty tricky. Slides down, and then that allows for a bit of error in case your TV's not exactly in the right place. But there's not a big lot, I don't know. It's pretty heavy, but I don't think, you see what happens? Somebody invents the perfect TV bracket, they put a patent on it. Then if you have to make a bracket, you got to come out with a less better bracket. You know, it's not to say that that's better. They just weren't allowed to make the other one because there's a copyright on it. So I've got these now anyway. I might use them there because they're pretty heavy. I'll put them behind the screws, put on longer screws, and that'll bring that bracket out, leaving more room for the cables. And as long as I keep that in there, I'll be able to get access to the cables. So I've measured that bracket to be cut off here. That's the length I have it. So it still leaves room for the cables. You could also put spacers there in the TV, but I prefer not to. The TV wouldn't be as strong. I can put great big deep screws under this wall here, because you need heavier screws, like big bolts. So I can change them to big bolts there. There's even bolts came with that kit there. Put them boys on there. So although I'm not going to use the bracket, I can use the stuff it came with. And then what I'll do then, I'm going to drill a hole straight through the wall into the chimney breast itself, and the wire can drop down the chimney. And that'll be the power cable that's coming up to the TV. So the TV will be plugged in underneath there, but the actual, when you got the plug of the TV, you plug it in to the socket up here. So that's the idea, and then I get the rest of that filled up and painted again. It's been a long time. So that's today's wee job. I needed somebody to give me a hand to lift the TV down. It's not the weight, it's the size. And that's why it's put off so long. So I'll start that job now. It's not that complicated really. It's just when I had plugged up that chimney, you can't plug a chimney up completely because it gets damp on it. And so I've got the original chimney brush up there and a wee pillow. And that just stops any rain coming down, but it's not airtight enough to stop rain getting down. But it's bone dry in there. So I need to get that chimney brush back out again. It's up there somewhere. There's a chimney brush up there somewhere. I need to get a torch. It's going to be covered in soot. And drill that hole. And then once it's done, I'll put the wee cushion, the chimney brush back up again. I was thinking of getting spray foam and blocking the chimney up outside, and just putting in a 2-inch pipe, a 2-inch bit of grey pipe, and then spray around it with foam, so just enough of air gets up without any rain coming down. See, there's so many problems in there you don't think about. I have to get a wee metal edge for here to finish that off. That's all it needs done. Once I get the wee metal edge for there, and but to block off this wee edge in there to stop any light shining. But apart from that, I've got couldn't get a screw in fitting. Got these adapters that goes from a straight to a screw in, so I must put a light fitting in there now. All I need is on your wee wall light. I got a couple of mirrors too, so I might get the mirrors and put the mirrors behind. So it means I might have to screw this steel thing out to get access to the chimney and get the mirrors in. Give me more space and then put that back in again. I just made a wee wall bracket in there. See the wee wall bracket? That's on my wee hook, wee wing nut. That's all it's holding that. It's not actually screwed to the bottom. So once there's a couple of wee pins in the bottom holding it. But once I take that out, bend that wee bracket up, so it just lifts out. It's very heavy. Big thick steel that. That was the original front for the coal fire. Brilliant job, so it was. When you had that on the coal fire burnt different. It burnt more like a stove. It burnt all the gases and all that. But apparently, I was looking then at a YouTube video about why people line chimneys. And this would cause a lot of tar in your chimney. That's why stoves have to put in these stainless steel flue liners. Because of the way it burns the gases up, it can cause more tar to build up in the chimney. And the tar can actually end up coming through your bricks and damaging the chimney. Didn't know that when I put that on. But so by right, if you've got these doors on, you should have a stainless steel liner. Well, I guess I doubt it does. So here's the drill bits I have there now. Starting off with a thin one, and then a thicker one, and then a really thick one. So you got to make sure it goes through the wall. So no problem. Start off the wee thin one first. It's not a big job, there's no accuracy involved in it, as long as I keep it sort of low right down the floor. So I'll just let the drill sit where the drill wants to sit. I'll probably just go above with the skirting board. I never had a skirting board on there because it looked ugly from the front. I pulled it off. But I'll keep it level roughly with the skirting board. And then just drill in, do the same on the other side. So just like all DIY projects, there's a problem with this one too. That bit there is too short to go through the wall. But that's alright, that's only to start off. In fact, that just might about go through because that wall's slightly behind. So you just might make it, that one. There's the big boys there. No problem getting through there. But there's my problem now. There's the SDS drill. There's it against the wall. Ain't enough room. Ain't enough room to get the drill. I need to have the same space as that again, plus the space for the drill. So it's impossible for me to get a whole drill straight in. Try putting the drill inside the fire, it's too small as well. I already have drilled the hole through there to begin with. But that wall's not as thick as that wall. And that was drilled before I put all this on. And I put a conduit and all on it, make it nice and neat. So I can still use that as a main feed coming in and run everything off that. And still keep some of the wires up behind. But it's not what I wanted. Other than that, I might try that to see if that goes through, that shorter one. That just about might make it. So that's just about, see how much shorter it is. And then get a thicker bit that's shorter and go from both sides. See if I get through. I just thought I'd make a nice big hole, it'd be dead handy, like. Oh no, it's dead handy. The only thing it is might work out, and that's the bracket. So there's the bracket there now. That's my idea. By putting the bracket off to the one side, it's still behind the TV. If you slide the TV back or forward, it's not going to fall off. Saves me cutting it. But none of them screws are the right place up there. I just used the screws of the old bracket for handiness because it's only a temporary job, like. And I put one in the bottom. So I'm thinking I might put a soundbar on. I don't want the TV high up. I like the TV low down. So I like the TV at the height it is. I've been looking at that height for a couple of months. I quite like that height. So I might just put the bracket on, like I say. So, and then what I'll do, I'll put spacers behind. So there's my wee line. I'll put the bracket on like so. So though it's crooked in the wall, the TV will still sit in the middle. And then I'll still be able to get the wires. And by keeping it out, I'll see what spaces I have, how long the bolts I have. I can get my hand behind. So I might just go and get the strut up first and out in the shed. I'll check what all bits we have. I've them drilled on now. See, they're very, very strong. You finish them off with a spanner, do it by hand, and you realise just what strengths on them screws there, like. So I'm not going to get any better than that there. So what I'm looking at now, the back of the TV now, the top of that bracket is going to come out here, top of this. So it's about 9 inches up. So if I have my power board about this height behind the TV, there should be plenty of space. I don't want the catching this. By right, I could cut that off with a hacksaw there, you know. There's no need for that. But you don't know, we might get an old TV sometime. So I'm going to draw a hole about there. It needs to be in the middle, because you might on side of the chimney's round. If you go to the side, oh, you have a wide long hole to do. Go in the middle, should be no more than 2 breeze blocks anyway. Can't see it, but it wouldn't be any more than that black bit there. Draw through. So I'm going to draw a hole through here now. And then there's going to be a 4 socket board, maybe 1 or 2, but a couple of 4 socket boards up here. One of them, see what way it works out here with the remote controls. I like the remote controls down there. So if the remote controls, I might run 4 socket board here. It's going to take the power from there. Another 4 socket board here, that'll take the power from there. There'll be 2 remote controls put in. One will be for the blue lights, one will be for the yellow lights, and then we need another cable coming up that'll go to the TV, and the other one then will be used for the fire. So I might even change that 4 strip and put on a 6 strip, have a couple of extra. So it comes Christmas time, I can plug things in. So in the meantime, right now that is wired up to here, like, so that has to come out anyway. That's where that was taking the power from, because the remote controls are behind here originally. So that has to come out. So I might just change that to a 6 socket strip. Piles in the shed, piles. So I'll draw this hole through here first. And as far as them other ones go then, I have bigger bits there. I brought them in. That's a big wet boy there, like. So that's thick enough. Won't go through the whole lot. But as long as I can make the pilot hole with that wee short one, and then I can draw this way with that one, and draw that way with that one, and hopefully I get through. If not, I'll keep the cables up here where they are, but they'll still go under the same board, and there'll still be control from down here. There's no space behind anymore to have the remote controls behind it. There's the remote control you use there. Very easy to use there. You just plug it in. You got a wee remote control, and you hold the key in and it programs it. The only thing with them is if you get a power cut, you have to reset them all. It's not smart like. So you have to reset every one. It takes seconds to set, but you have to do it every time you get a power cut. If it's down behind that wee door, I can open it up and reset them very quickly. So we'll drill this big hole through now. I see how Santa Claus got my presents and Luna's presents in this year. We're about to see now. This is here, look. It's not many people can see up a chimney, you know. But there's my chimney there now. So what I've done, I stuck a now bit of a duvet cover up there, and that's the chimney brush. So I put the chimney brush up with the shaft on it, and then I just unscrewed the shaft and left it there. There's enough air gets through there to stop damp. Like, there's no damp here, see. But doesn't matter how often you clean the chimney. Oh, I'm going to get soot on me now, like. I can't reach now, like, that's the only thing. God, I need longer arms. I'm on to see. Luna's coming to help. Luna's coming to help now, so she's. Wasn't that hard to put up, so it wasn't. Oh, fuck, the soot's coming down now. The soot's coming down. Ah, Luna, I can come and sit. Fuck. Well, Santa's a red coat on him. I don't know how he keeps it red. I brushed that out before I sealed it up, like. That's a wee. Might grab it now. Got to go to A&E now because I got soot on it. I fall down quick. Oh. Another job done. Now the idea is I'll hole through there. What the soot in that was. I want to see if I can see any light there now. I'll see if I can volunteer now to how that light up. I'll shine the light up and see if I can see through this wee hole. Nothing's ever easy, is it? I do not see no light through that hole. How deep's that chimney there, boys? They wouldn't have put a flywheel and put a crew. Nah, they wouldn't do that. Only other thing is then is to hold that light there and see if look underneath and see if it shines through. So that's what I'll do. I'll tape it on. I'll tape that on with a bit of tape there, and I'll go take a wee peek and see if I see any light shining through. Don't want to keep drawing forever in case I end up with the neighbour's house. Idea the light didn't work. I was just touching the line. I'll go and check now. But I have the button the full way. So I should see the button here. Oh fuck, I've through the whole side. See, that's what I've been like. I'm going through the other side. So I didn't have to go that far. That's why I didn't want to go through in the neighbours. I tell you what, that's not too straight, is it? Them boys didn't lay them too straight. Or maybe it is straight. It's just no, a wee bit of bend on the top. It's cobwebs on it. But I didn't have to go so deep. So next time now, I won't go as deep. You hear the noise outside. So that's the job then. I get the idea. What I remember to do just the last minute is to put the jaw at a slight angle. Just in case water might come down. I don't want to come back behind the TV. So I'll get the bigger bit now and we'll do a nice big hole. The big hole drilled through there now. Hey, look at that cement dust and I'll fill up with cement dust. So great big holes. I'm going to suck this up now, the vacuum cleaner, and get some of these tools right up. Get that soot lifted before the whole place gets plastered. So no problem there. I got 3 or 4 flexes through there, no problem. Room for future expansions here, boys. So it's just a matter now to see if I get these side holes done, but I get this dust out of the way. I don't want the dust all over the whole house. I'm using the shorter, thinner bit to start off this hole. I'm looking at different sockets. I have piles of sockets out in the shed. That one's a surge protector and all on it. So I'm thinking I might put that in there. But I still like to get the wires off the brace and down through here. So we'll see. I'm going to drill through this first. If it doesn't reach the whole way, I don't know. See, that one's too long. If it doesn't reach the whole way, no, it wouldn't work out. I think if it doesn't reach the full way, I'll have a slap. I'll take it off the drill, have a slap with a hammer, and so bust through the last bit. And then I'll use the shorter bits, thicker bits, and drill from both sides. And that should work. Just thinking that when they built this chimney breast didn't come with the house. This was added later. And that row of breeze blocks is sitting in front of the original wall. So I have to keep my bit out far enough to make sure I don't run into the side of them breeze blocks. So it's a wee bit of guessing here. Try and measure it, but you can't really measure it right because everything's all different distance out. So the bit's in the full way. It hasn't come out. But what I'm thinking of doing now is if I use the smaller, stubbier bit, what do I do with? If I use this one here now, that won't go the whole way through either. But what it'll allow me to do then is to put in this longer one. Put that in first. That'll get that down a bit and then I should be able to hook the drill on. So I'm going to try this. Sometimes I wonder where I start some of these projects, you know. Anybody else would just get a TV and stick it up, have the wires hanging down in front of the chimney breast. That big bit there is in the full way now. So what that's going to allow me to do now, if I can get it out. You know, it's like, you know when you hold a ton of beans doesn't weigh much. But you know when you hold your hand out straight and you hold it, it gets heavy. That's a problem. I can't shift all this. So what I can do now is this longer bit. The idea was to get the pilot bit through first, make sure it's the right place, rather than drill big holes and maybe not work. So I can now put that bit in there and now disconnect this chuck. Need 2 hands. So because of that bigger hole now, I have now got space now to put this drill back on, if you get the idea, and then finish the hole off the whole way through. And only then will I know I'm in the right place or not. So here we go. Got the whole way through. So it's only about an inch off the end, you know. About an inch off the end. There's a couple of wee hollow bits in that wall. I kept it up a little bit higher so I can put a skirting board if I want to. But that's the job. I'm not drilling another hole that side will do. There's a hole already drilled for this cable. I'm going to change that cable to that black one. And there's only I don't know if I get the cable straight enough. I'll try to see. But finish this one off here. The idea now is I'll drill from this side. I can use the short thick bit now to draw through. Ideally you want the one bit going the whole way. Because of the gaps in the middle, sometimes the holes can go slightly out of line and make it quite tricky to get cables through. If it was completely solid, easy. But there's a couple of wee hollows in that wall. When I go to thread the wee cables through one at a time, it can be a bit awkward. I have wee electrical rods now. I can use them, stick it on my sellotape and pass the cables through. But it's so handy if you can put a bit of conduit through. So I'll draw this now and that'll be it finished. Turn the full way now. I can do no more now. Cup of tea now. Tell you, some work involved in that there. I was going to knock down the chimney place at one time. Cause I'm getting knackered just drilling a hole. Luna, but wanting fair, wouldn't you, Luna? You want your done? Of course she does. She said, you always keep me waiting. All the cables pulled out from that side. One HDMI lead. Might want to put a DVD player back in there. So, but the thing about this HDMI lead, these holes are only a certain size. Can't make them no bigger. So you've got to start off with the biggest cable and work your way down to the slimmest. So the cable's pretty thin, but the end's big. So I'll put the HDMI cable through there first. I'm going to do it this shit and get the wee electrical rods. Gravity, you go with gravity, the cables will fall down where I can't go do it the other way around. And so I'll get my wee cable rods now and I'll poke that HDMI lead through that hole and goes up into the back, and if I have a DVD player spare, stick one on. I had the amplifier one there, but I took it down temporary down to the kitchen to use for the projector. But I think I might just end up putting a sound bar here, because I don't listen. I won't be watching movies in the living room no more. I have the projector now in my bedroom, the big projector screen. So that's where I'm going to be watching all the movies. So I'm not going to bother putting the wee external speakers here. But sometimes you're just listening to YouTube, some music videos. It's nice to have a wee bit extra sound. So I might just go with a sound bar. I don't like sound bars. I prefer separate speakers, but just for a wee bit of extra bass. So there's the cable coming out the bottom. Now I got my wee rods and thread it through. It's still going to be awkward pulling that cable through because that hole's not the straightest of holes. So you want to keep that's the thick bit. So bear in mind it's a circular hole. If you put it to the side, it's not going to fit. You put it up there. And just make a wee bit of a ramp with sellotape. But I'll take it gently. I don't want to put any more tape on a half to. Bring that flex down a bit slack so it goes straight as we push it through. And I'll actually try pushing it through instead of pulling it, to see if she goes through easy enough. But I think it's going to be a problem with this one. The rest of them won't be as bad as this. Just try what they pot. It's a matter of trying to feel it as it goes through. So there's a couple of wee cavities on there. She's catching out that. Yeah, that's alright through. So that's the hardest one through there. So that's simple enough. Plenty of spare cable there, so there's by the time I put that up. So the next thing now, the next electrical flex. Remember, electrical flexes are the thickest. Do the thickest and work our way down to the slimmest. And then do the same to the other side.